Illegal immigrant from Honduras is now behind bars after a massive manhunt in Indiana. Dimas Gabriel Yanez is accused of stabbing a 14-year-old girl while she was attending her younger brother's baseball game. The suspect was deported in 2018 and is linked to several other crimes across the United States. Matt Ramian was coaching the brothers' baseball team. He was on third base with a player, and he saw the whole thing and joins us now. Good morning to you, Matt. Thanks for being with us, and thanks for what you do for the kids.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you.
Good morning. So tell us what happened. What did you see?
Well, I was just coaching a baseball game like I pretty much do all the time, and I'm on third base. I look to talk to my on-deck batter, and out of the corner of my eye, I see this dude just come out of behind my dugout, and all he did was just jump on this girl. And then he started to like push her down onto the bleachers. And then he pulls out at least a 16 to 20 inch knife. It wasn't even a regular sized pocket knife, and just started swinging it and got her a few times, and blood went all over the bleachers and on the people sitting in front of him. Then he just takes off running down the.
What the piss is happening in this country? What is going on? What do you, hold on. What do you mean that he just pulls out a big blade, jumps out, and just starts stabbing this little girl? That's crazy. Yo, you didn't hear about this stuff. And this wasn't a thing. And I'm not saying that America didn't have its own problems and that we didn't have to deal with certain things that was happening in society and so on and so forth. But I'm saying that this wasn't a thing. You didn't have people, illegal migrants from Venezuela and Honduras, just randomly walking around with knives and jumping out and stabbing little 14-year-old girls. And that's just the end of the conversation. Like, this is crazy. And this is why a couple of different things before we hear the rest of this story. Number one, I'm always very, very, very sketchy of other cultures, because I don't know, and I know that this is a deeper part of the conversation, I don't know the spirits that you bring in over here. I'm very careful of whether or not I shake certain people's hands, whether I give certain people hugs. I don't go into everybody else's houses. I'm very lyrical. When I went down to Louisiana, right? I went down to Louisiana. Actually, it wasn't even to Louisiana. I went to Biloxi. And I like to hang out in Biloxi because that's like my hidden little spot, my hidden little gem or whatever. And then we would drive over to New Orleans, and I see all of the voodoo shops and stuff. It's certain things that I won't even go into. I had read a thing where a woman she would put like some kind of dust or something to where it would fall on the people when they went into the voodoo shops and stuff like that down there in New Orleans. And so I'm careful of the very spirits of people a lot of times, and I don't even want to be around negative energy in real life. It's draining when you have to deal with some of the stuff that you deal with online. And so now you got all of these people that's unvetted, undocumented from all walks of life. And so in addition to the different cultural norms and a way in which they're used to doing things, because they didn't grow up like us. They don't worship the same way that we worship. They don't believe in a higher being in the same way. Maybe they do believe in a higher being, but it's not the same as you. It is a cultural difference. It is not a cultural norm for them to go around doing the things that they do. They don't look at things the same way. They don't even drive down the same streets the same way on the same side of the streets as you. These people are unvetted, walking in here, doing what they want to do when they want to do it. And now it's our babies. It's our 14-year-olds. It's the little girls who are being murdered and stuff that our politicians and Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, they never say their name. They had every single pep rally. And they had every single state in the swing states, but they never want to say their names. And these people are walking around and they're hurting your children. And you sitting there doing the community service thing, coaching Little League, and an illegal migrant from Honduras walks up and just start knifing up a 14-year-old little girl.
Sidelines and started waving the knife at a couple other people as he was running. And then a bunch of the dads, at least like 10 to 15 dads, just go running after.
Hey, tell us women how y'all don't eat men no more. But we're going to get to that later.
The guy and chased them all through the woods. And then like a 26-hour manhunt proceeded.
My goodness. I mean, we see behind you, it's a field. This is an all-American thing that we all do this on a Saturday. We go to our
Yep.
siblings' baseball games. You don't expect crime to happen there. Why in
No.
Indiana is this happening?
That's the question everyone's been asking, you know? I mean, it's a small town.
'Cause they're
I mean, Lowell is one of
migrating.
those little close-knit towns. They have a
They're
big
evolving.
Labor Day weekend, like festivals. They have a music festival. They have fireworks shows, parades, every day something different. And, you know, it's one of those towns where everybody knows everybody. So, I mean, for something like this to happen was shocking, just not for Lowell, but for all the communities around them.
Yeah, what are they saying about this illegal migrant? Was he on drugs? What would make him just run and jump on this
Nobody
young
know.
girl?
Yeah, that's the $1 million question. Nobody has an answer. You know, the detectives and I think now it's in the DEA's hands. So they're, you know, investigating every possibility on who, what, where, and why. I mean, the last I heard is he just took a train from Colorado and ended up in Indiana. I don't know where he was going or what's going on, but he decided to be, I guess, like a drifter and cause havoc at a baseball game.
Yep, this
From Colorado. We just got done talking about the migrant crisis that's over in Denver and Aurora and the apartments buildings that's being taken over that they keep saying, oh no, ain't nothing happening over here. It's all cool. It's straight. They're migrating across the country. So now it's not just about whether or not they're going to go into the sanctuary cities. They escaping the insane asylums that these mayors then designate themselves as sanctuary cities because they didn't want to work with Texas in order to close off the borders because they were so against Trump and they so against Republicans that they shot their own foot. They shot their own foot. And now it's coming to your doorstep. And now they over in Indiana. And I ain't never even heard of nowhere in Indiana where it is that they've ever designated themselves as an opportunity zone for illegal migrants.
just proves it's not a Texas problem. It's not an Arizona problem. This is happening all over our country in small towns. How's the young girl doing and how are the players doing? Because I understand they were traumatized.
It's crazy.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you
Forever
can only
scarred.
imagine how they feel. I mean, me witnessing it as an adult, it kind of shocks me. I mean, it puts you in a different perspective. You know, you change your views on a lot of things. The girl, she's doing very well. I mean, she ended up getting out of the hospital. She's, you know, being a trooper about it. She actually went to school. Her mom told her she didn't have to go to school if she didn't want to, but she wanted to be strong and she wanted to have a day at school. So, I mean, that tells you a lot about her character. And all the boys were kind of shocked. You know, they're all strong kids. I mean, they're only 12 years old, but at the same
Look at
time, I
this
mean,
idiot.
something like
Look at
that
this crazy man.
happens. I mean, it's something that adults shouldn't see, but I mean, for these.
Let me rewind that. Let me show y'all something. Look at this monster. It's insane, man. It really is. It's unacceptable. It's insane. And nobody is holding this administration accountable for what they've created in this country on American soil. Nobody is holding them accountable for what it is that they've created in this country. And everybody is just like, oh, okay. Oh, you know what? But she give me vibes. She had on a tan suit at the Democratic National Convention. We love the fact that she put bacon inside of her collard greens that she make inside of the bathtub. But Roland Martin like her. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teej Hanley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off of life. I'm curious as to what y'all think inside of the comments. Best time to join the Patreon is the beginning of the month, man. We got a lot going on. We got to get this money so we can make sure that we protect ourselves and we're not subjected to what's going on here in the United States of America.